watching Natalie's vlog.
Hi guys, my name is Natalie and welcome to today's vlog, or tonight's, as it is the evening. So tonight I thought I'd share with you some of the things that I'll miss about going to university, because as you probably know by now, I am graduating from Aberystwyth University mid-July. I am so scared to graduate, it is unreal. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. So the first thing that I will miss is the town of Aberystwyth. I think because it's so small and it's so heavily populated by students, it just makes the whole experience of living here that much more fun. I think having a beach that is a 5-minute walk from your front door is just, you know, you can't get that really anywhere else. You can't get that in a big city. And when it's hot and sunny, it's just great. I remember in first year we had the hottest freshers week to date, and when we were doing our revision for our exams, we were doing our revision on the beach. What more could you possibly want? Also, you can't walk down the street without seeing someone that you know and like stopping for 5 minutes, which makes it so difficult when you're in a rush to be at a rehearsal or go to work or go up the hill to go to university. It is so difficult to get there on time because you'll always bump into someone. I think that's what makes it so special really, is that you never really feel alone in the town. It's quite a quiet town, it's quite secluded from the outside world, but then again there's so many people that you know here, that live here, and you know them so well. I don't think you can get that in like a big city. I'm gonna miss this place. So the second thing that I will miss, this is not in any order by the way, they're all equally missable things. The second thing that I will miss are my friends, because you see your friends every day, and now that most of my friends who are in their third year are graduating, they are going all over the place. I mean, one of my friends, Charlie, who you saw in the vlog going to Elliot's place, she's going to Argentina to study for a semester, which is a good excuse for a holiday, so I'm definitely coming to Argentina. It's just so like heartbreaking because you're so used to seeing people every day, and I think going from seeing them every day to just not really seeing them that much and it being once in a blue moon, it's kind of upsetting really. I think I'm depressing myself more and more by doing this video. So following on from my friends, I am going to miss curtain call. Now curtain call has been the biggest part of my university experience. I joined curtain call in the second semester of my first year. I did audition for Spring Awakening, which was their first show that they were putting on in my first year, but I stupidly didn't go to the recalls. I went to another drama society instead because I did want to do plays when I came to university. And then when I got the chance to audition for the next show, which was 13, I managed to get in, and I met so many lovely people, and I'm still in contact with those people as well. And curtain call is just like a big family. Curtain call has been with me when I've stressed and struggled with my course, and it's just nice to kind of go out on a social with the people that you all share a common interest in. Yeah, I'll miss the showcases, I'll miss the actual shows, I'll just miss performing with my friends, because at the end of the day that's what we do. Being able to get up in the afternoon without anyone batting an eyelid is probably the thing that I will miss the most, because it's just great to just get up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and all your housemates are either in the same position and they're all in bed. I remember being in first year when we were in like up on campus in the halls, and people wouldn't like surface until late afternoon, evening, and then they go out and get drunk. And that was first year really. It was just a chance to socialise and see people and sleep in till, you know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. One of the funniest things about Aberystwyth is that you can wear absolutely anything on a night out and no one will say anything. You could wear, you know, a bin bag and say it's an ABC social. An ABC social is anything but clothes, if you were wondering. I've seen people dressed up as SpongeBob, I've seen people dressed up in their nightwear, in onesies, I've seen someone dress up as a tampon. I never want to see anyone else dressed up as a tampon ever again. So yeah, it is, I think it's just because of the student town, no one really cares, to be honest. I'm gonna say I miss some of the university work. I say some university work because a lot of the university work was boring. This final year has probably been the most enjoyable because we got to do a lot more practical than we did in our first and second year. The first semester was APP, which is Advanced Production Project, and it was really good fun to do. And yeah, it was different. It wasn't something that I'd probably do again, but it was a great experience nonetheless. It's a great way to learn about your body and how it works. And in my second semester, the one that I just finished, I did an applied project, which was a immersive kind of theatre experience that we toured around to 2 different schools, and we taught children aged 7 to 9 about internet safety, which was really good fun, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and it's something that I definitely think about doing in the future. I'm gonna miss working at the Cwps, aka the Cooper's Arms, because I've always worked in family-run businesses. Like, I realised this a couple of weeks ago, that every job that I've worked in has been a family-run business. My first job was in a cafe, and that was run by a husband and wife, and his son worked there, and I'd known them since I was little. I always went into the cafe with my mum and my nan. The second job that I had was working down in Devon in a pub, and that was partly owned by my godfathers, so again, family run. My third job was at a cafe/restaurant, and that was family run. And then Cooper's Arms is run by husband and wife, and it's just a fantastic, you know, pub to work for, really. It's a local Welsh pub, and you know, I think the locals make a pub, really, and they are fantastic, and they're really warm and welcoming, and it doesn't feel like a job, really, because you go in there and you do the things that you need to do as part of the job, and then you just have fun. And I do love serving behind a bar because you get to know all sorts of characters, and seeing people drunk is just hilarious. I did make quite a few friends there as well that I am definitely going to stay in contact with, especially Oshan, which you saw at the very start of this video. So yeah. What's unusual about Aberystwyth is that there's only 2 nightclubs in Aberystwyth. Yeah. If you came here, then you would realise why there's only 2 nightclubs in Aberystwyth, is because there's not really much room to fit another nightclub here. There's 2 nightclubs. One's called Peer Pressure because it's on the pier, and the second one is, well, it was called Yoko's, but it's now changed its name to Why Not, but a lot of people call it Yoko's, and then people get confused because they're like, Yoko's or Why Not? Are they 2 separate things, or are they one thing? Why Not? I didn't go there for the start of the year or for the majority of second year because I hated the place, because it is so small, and when you're dancing it feels as if you're being like squashed and touched up by weird looking people, and it's just sweaty and hot. And I much preferred Peer Pressure because it was a lot bigger, and it smelled nice, and it was lovely, and it was on the pier. What more could you want? But saying that, this semester I have not been into Peer Pressure in the last, I'd say, 1 or 2 months, maybe even longer, to be honest, because I've been in Why Not. And the reason why I haven't been in peer pressure as much is because due to the recent storms that we had in Aberystwyth, the last major storm that Aberystwyth had, which I think was in like the 70s or 80s, knocked down part of the pier, and the storm that we had recently was apparently like 10 times worse than the one that was in the 70s or 80s, and the pier is still standing, which I find quite worrying. So I said to myself I'd never ever go back in there when I got back after the storms, and then within, I'd say, a few days, I was drunk and I was like, YOLO, let's just go into pier, just do it. For some reason I haven't been in for the past couple of weeks. I think I probably will do at some point. I'll risk it. I'll risk it for a chocolate biscuit. So this is something that I probably will miss the most, and that is my student loan. What am I gonna do for money now? I'm gonna be broke the rest of my life. Having a student loan is just fantastic because you get that feeling of free money, but the reality is that you have to pay it back one day. And following on from that, I enjoyed not having to pay any taxes. I don't want to be taxed. I just don't want to. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not welcoming tax with open arms. I'm rather pushing it away, saying, talk to them, because this ain't listening. I think another thing that I will miss is having so much independence. Coming to university was probably the most daunting thing that I've ever done in my entire life, and I think working down in Devon during the summer and being away from my family before I came to university for my first year kind of eased me into it, because Aberystwyth is not exactly 5 minutes away from my hometown. It's like 3.5 hours, and I went here not knowing anyone. I'd never been to the town of Aberystwyth. I didn't even realise it existed until I applied. It was kind of a last resort. I'd got into the extra part of UCAS because when I initially applied, I applied to 5 drama schools, and drama schools are very, very competitive and hard to get into, and I didn't put a reserve, so yeah, I basically screwed myself over. But I think coming to Aberystwyth was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I met fantastic people, I enjoyed my course, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world, really. I think finally, to sum up this video, I am going to miss not having to think about what I'm going to do after I finish university. Coming to university during first year and second year, all you would think about is university. You wouldn't think about what you're going to do with your life afterwards, what you're going to do with your degree when you finally finish it. And now that I've finished, and I've got no more lectures or, you know, seminars or presentations to prepare for or performances to work on, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I've got so much that I need to get started on and try and kind of sort out my life, and I'm planning on moving down to London. There's just so many things that I've got to sort out, so it's depressing, but yeah, great. So I hope you like this video. Please like and comment and subscribe down below, and yeah, hopefully I will see you guys very soon. See you later. Oh look, I got a beard. Alone. I've just had my last